Hello everybody and welcome to Ingredia's webinar. I'm Véronique Lomé, Product Line Manager for Milk Protein at Ingredia. With Frank Lagarde, Cheese Application Specialist from the R&D team, we are very happy to present you our unique milk protein for your clean label processed cheese. We will focus on the clean label and consumer trends, then explain the Ingredia's expertise, and finally show you how our unique milk proteins provide a clean label solution for your processed cheese. First, what is the clean label trend? There is no official definition of clean label. It is generally associated with less and simpler ingredients that are natural and recognizable. It was born 10 years ago and is still evolving with consumer expectations. Clean label is a consumer-driven concept based on 4 pillars. First, seek of natural and simple products. 70% of consumers seek products with as few ingredients as possible. Transparency and trust. 3 in 5 global consumers want to know where their food comes from and how it is made. Then environmental and ethical awareness. 3 in 4 global consumers expect companies to invest in sustainability. Then the mindful eating. Consumers want to know the impact of their food on human and planet health. According to those 4 pillars, a product is considered clean label when it is natural, means close to natural state. Simple, clear, familiar. It must be familiar to the consumer and not with the chemical consonants of the E numbers. Transparent. The consumer wants to know the origin of the product, how it was produced with a supply chain traceability. Healthy. A natural and simple product guarantees that its health benefits are preserved. Local. A local product with less transport. Sustainable and ethical, natural and sustainable sourcing of ingredients. Today, in 2022, what are the consumer major trends for food and drinks? According to Mintel, the first consumer trend is to find enjoyment everywhere. Food industrial can help them by providing joyful products that amplify the flavors, colors, and textures. Then consumers will seek flexible space where they can do everything. The food companies will use food and food service as forum where people can spend time, eat and connect. The last and most important trend in the consumer in control. Food and drinks brands need to help consumers feel empowered to make confident decisions that protect their health and the health of the planet. Of course, these are ideal consumer trends, but in the current context, consumers also have purchasing power as a major concern. So, we have seen that the clean label trend is still present in the actual consumer trend, but in 2022, on which axis it is based. For the first axis, the ultra-processed food is checked and less processed food with clean ingredients is expected. Next axis is the unwanted substances. The next generation of clean label ingredients should be void of unwanted substances with bad image or controversy. Then, actual clean label trend goes further than natural products, but also products good for the environment. Let's look at the trends for cheese trends by geographical area. In Europe, where the clean label is becoming an expectation, not a selling point, the major claims for cheese launches are natural, environmental, and ethical. In Americas, we observe naturalness and positive nutrition trend. Consumers seek clean label cheeses without artificial additives. In Asia, cheese innovations are more focused on snacking with local and exciting flavors, and there is also a new trend to reduce the food additives in the processed cheese, especially the tips for kids. In the world, 1 product on 3 products is currently launched with a natural claim. If we look at the data of the claims, we have claims no or low sodium, gluten, fat, no added sugar, and we see that the first natural claim is without additives. As we have seen in the trends and though in the new products launch, consumers expect clean label food products without additives. The food additives are common ingredients in food and processed foods. They are added to generate certain properties. For example, dyes are added for a nice appearance and color, preservatives for longer conservation and shelf life, flavor for good taste, and finally, emulsifiers to obtain a nice textures. Today, we will focus on the emulsifiers. We will see later how Ingredia offers a clean label solution to remove and replace the emulsifying salts while providing the same properties on texture and taste. Let me present quickly Ingredia expertise. Who are we? Ingredia is part of a dairy cooperative named Prospérité Fermière, located in France in the Hauts-de-France area. 1,155 farmers belong to the cooperative and produce 410 million liters each year. In our plant, 60 million liters of UHT milk is bottled with our own bottling lines. The milk is dried, filtered to obtain dairy powders and dairy proteins for the food, nutrition, and health industries. Ingredia is a human-sized company with 462 employees. Our plant is located at Saint-Paul-sur-Ternoise, and the farmers are located within 80 kilometers around. Ingredia is both a French local and international company with more than 50% of turnover abroad. Our products are distributed in 90 countries, and we have subsidiaries in the US and in Singapore. Our strategy is based on two strong pillars, CSR and innovation, and they are inspiring all our product developments. For the CSR, we have had a pioneering approach with our Via Lacta Commitment Charter based on 11 Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations. At the end of 2021, we obtained 2 labels and we became the first dairy cooperative doubly labeled in its CSR approach. The second pillar of our strategy is the innovation to produce always innovative and high-quality dairy ingredients. Research and development represent 10% of our staff to provide always innovation with 10 patents pending. And 30% of their time is dedicated to customer support. We offer strong and advanced technical support thanks to our pilot plant where the team can make trials. 1,300 samples are sent every year. It is customized samples of dairy protein or finished products for your specific need in various applications such as yogurt, chocolate, ice cream, UHT beverage, and cheese, traditional or without waste separation, and processed cheese. For those cheese applications, we have a wide range of native dairy proteins. We have native total milk proteins, native micellar caseins, and native whey proteins. In addition, we have a range of functional milk proteins developed to answer customer needs. They provide unique functionalities for all cheese applications. Those milk proteins meet clean label criteria. Natural milk protein is a natural ingredient that can replace additives. Simple, clear familiar, milk protein is just milk. It allows to replace additives on ingredients list by a familiar ingredient to the consumer. Transparency, the products come from farm to plant. It ensures controlled quality and traceability. Healthy, milk proteins can make a product become healthier. By offering good quality proteins, milk proteins are highly digestible. Local development, members of our cooperative are located less than 80 kilometers from our plant. Sustainability and ethical, we contribute to the sustainability by supporting farmers in their work. Now I let my colleague Frank speak about our unique milk proteins for your clean label processed cheese.
Hi everybody, my name is Frank Lagarde and I'm milk protein specialist for cheese at Ingredia for 11 years. Today I will talk about unique milk proteins we suggest for clean label processed cheeses. But let me start with a quick reminder about processed cheese. It's traditionally made from cheeses, which is the main ingredient, with a part of water, milk fat, milk powder like standard milk proteins, and emulsifying salt. After mixing step, a heat treatment is applied to sanitize and stabilize ingredients before molding and cooling down. Two main equipments are used: a cutter cooker alone or paired with UHT system. Adding UHT system will help to increase the temperature target, or you can process with a train screw cooker if you expect melting properties on finished product. So in this category of processed cheese, we find spreadable in glacier, in tubes, or in portions, individual ripe slices, blocks of cheddar, for example, or blocks of pizza cheese. During this webinar, I will focus on innovative clean label pizza cheese, a new development at Ingredia, and also on clean label processed cheese block and processed cream cheese we developed previously. These new concepts were developed by using our innovative milk proteins and their several functionalities. We currently work to improve quality on finished products, to improve the process, and more to suggest clean label recipe such as replacement of additives like emulsifying salts. The control of sodium content from emulsifying salt can influence the Nutri-Score ranking. But why removing emulsifying salt? People expect to live well with better food, so customers check more often the label to find clean label products with natural, simple, and familiar ingredients. Although this additive has specific properties, so it's a real challenge to replace it. That's why Ingredia develops a new generation of proteins to mimic functionalities brought by emulsifying salts. The first protein I want to introduce is Premix cheese B87. This one contains 87% protein on dry matter and 92% casein on total protein. So it's rich, optimized micellar casein, which allows to bring cheesy texture on finished products. Moreover, with its high solubility, it's really easy to use, and its excellent emulsifying property permits to remove emulsifying salts. At last, this protein has milky taste thanks to our physical process by using mainly filtration, which is not the case for other milk proteins specific for processed pizza cheese, such as Rennet Cassine. So this protein is perfect to use in a processed pizza cheese without emulsifying salt. As you can see, we only have 5 dairy ingredients in this suggested recipe. We set a minimum of 50% traditional cheese, specific for pizza cheese like Cagliata, and added protein from our Premix and fat from anhydrous milk fat to reach standard nutritional values on finished products. Around 22% protein, 51% dry matter with around 48% fat on dry matter. However, we can adjust the quantity of Premix to maximize the profitability depending on prices on each raw material. The block obtained had ideal texture and functionalities for your pizza cheese solution. Let's see together in details functionalities we got from our lab test. The texture is adapted to have a nice shredded cheese, long pieces of cheese, no sticky on the machine, non-sticky cheese, and no fines. Then we performed a melting test based on the Schreiber test to compare functionalities with usual results. We can notice suitable functionality with a light browning coloration due to a lactose content on finished product of 0.3%. And the last main functionality we evaluated is the stretching property. Results were excellent with a value up to 100 centimeters. But let me show you the test on pizza, the best one to evaluate functionalities in real conditions. I will start now a short video. So we prepare the pizza with a tomato-based sauce, ham, mushroom, and of course our shredded cheese. We cook the pizza in a deck oven at 340 degrees Celsius during 3 minutes, and we can see nice functionalities as melting, stretching, and coloration with several browning spots all over the pizza. Now we will follow with another clean label development of processed cheese block containing the same protein, Premix cheese B87. We suggest a recipe with only water, pro-milk, and a mix of cheeses from Gouda and mozzarella. If the choice of milk protein is a key point for the success without emulsifying salt, it's the same case for the choice of cheeses. The block obtained contains 50% dry matter, around 25% protein, and 22% fat. Its texture is homogeneous, cheesy, very similar to a standard cheese, and ideal to cut it in cubes for a snack. With a part of Gouda cheese in recipe, the taste looks like a semi-hard cheese. The second milk protein I would like to introduce is Premix yolk cheese. This one contains 85% protein on dry matter, with an optimized protein profile specific to provide spreadable texture. Like Premix cheese B87, it comes from membrane filtration, so it keeps all milky taste, and it's also effective to use in recipe without emulsifying salt due to its high radiation and emulsifying properties. That's why we suggested in a clean label processed cream cheese. We developed recipe with 50% soft cheese, more exactly a brie type, and only 3% of Premix yolk cheese. Finally, the composition obtained with this formulation is 11.5% protein, around 45% dry matter, and 26% fat. The finished product is perfect to spread, with shiny aspect, creamy in mouth, and nice flavor of soft cheese. To conclude, we have a specific functional milk proteins to develop clean label processed cheeses, from block cheese with or without melting properties to a spreadable cheese. I hope to showcase you in the near future a solution for your spreadable in aluminum portion, our current challenge. Thanks a lot for watching this webinar, and we stay available with my colleague Veronique to answer you if you have any questions.
Hello, so thank you for your attention, and we will wait for a few times so that you can ask your questions and then answer to your questions. Okay, so we thank you. We have already few questions. You can continue to pose them, and so we will start to answer. Let's see the first question. You suggest anhydrous milk fat in your recipe of pizza cheese without emulsifying salt, but can we replace it by another kind of fat? So it's a question for Frank.
Yes. Indeed, we based our trial with the use on the use of anhydrous milk fat because we usually have it available in our pilot plant. But of course, we can consider a replacement of AMF by butter. Or even by vegetable fats. with the same melting point and functionalities on finished product should be quite similar.
Thank you, Frank. We have another question. The second question is it possible to receive a sample of the milk protein or of the finished product pizza cheese? Yes, of course, it is possible to receive a sample. You can directly request to your sales rep or send to us an email, or you can also go on our website and through the web contact form, you can request for technical support for your specific need or application. And for the finished product, I will let Frank to answer because he has developed it.
Yes, of course. We need to check if you have still available samples. Otherwise, we can plan a trial to provide it to you. Yes.
Okay. Next question. Is there already processed cheese without emulsifying salts? Yes, there are already a few processed cheeses, but it is just starting. It is just the beginning, and we are seeing that almost for the spreadable portions now. Another question for Frank. Can you tell us more information about equipment used to do this pizza cheese? Is it the same kind of stretcher we have for standard processed pizza cheese? And I am wondering same question for the other processed cheese.
Yes, about the process, our initial goal is to suggest innovative solution to our current customer of processed cheese. So we worked with the same equipment we used to do a standard recipe with emulsifying salt. So it means stretcher cooker, try and screw equipment to do the stretching in case we do a block of pizza cheese, and it means cutter cooker to do the processed cream cheese of brie and the block of Gouda. But we don't need any specific equipment.
Thank you. There is a lot of questions. Thank you for your participation. Next question. What kind of heating is it necessary to do for this pizza cheese? Frank, yes, please.
Yes. We only heat it by direct steam injection to do the pizza cheese. So we remove a small part of water in the beginning brought by the steam injection. It's the most common and fastest heating. That's why we use direct steam injection for the heating.
Thank you. Let's see the questions. A question more marketing this time. What is the size of the processed cheese market? So in 2021, the processed cheese market is around $12 billion with a growth of around 6%. And so it is the fastest growing segment from the all the cheese market compared to the soft cheese or hard cheese or spreadable cheese. Technical question for Frank. Could we use a Premix Cagliata before using in this recipe of pizza cheese?
Yes, we suggest to premix Cagliata for this recipe, and we did it for trials. It's definitely better. The other, if we don't do it, is to find again small pieces of Cagliata on the finished product. So yes, we suggest it.
Okay, thank you. Next question. Do you think that all processed cheeses will be without emulsifying salts in a few years? Yes, really, I think that it will be the case. I think, yes, indeed, I have presented the clean label trend to you, and this clean label is very strong, is still evolving, and as we see, all the consumers really expect clean ingredients, natural ingredients, and specifically without additives. So I think as emulsifying salts start to be controversy with a bad image, they will be surely progressively suppressed and be replaced by natural ingredients with the same properties. So there is a lot of questions. I will have one question. Yes. I usually use Rennet Cassine in my recipe of processed pizza cheese. Is it really necessary to do a total replacement by your milk protein?
Yes, Rennet Cassine is made by enzymatic coagulation. So we can't solubilize it again just in water without emulsifying salts. So that's why we need and we suggest to use only Premix cheese B87 in this kind of clean label recipe. Premix cheese B87 is not a Rennet Cassine. It's a protein. This protein comes from filtration.
Yes, and we will see some other questions connected to this question to know if there is a total replacement of the emulsifying salts with our milk protein.
Can you just...
Yes, it is just another question that I've seen connected to this last question.
Yes.
It is just somebody has requested if the emulsifying salts can be totally replaced by our protein, by our milk protein. If it is a total replacement.
Yes, we can replace the Rennet Cassine at all by our Premix cheese B87. Yes, yes.
Okay. So thank you, Many thanks for all those interesting questions. Unfortunately, we cannot answer today to all the questions, but we will really be pleased to answer to you personally, to each question personally, and so quickly as you can, and to offer to you our support for your specific need, specific question. So thank you for your attention and your participation with all your questions. Have a nice day.
Thank you, and have a nice day.
And bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.